Caught 2 more little cutthroat trout. Oh, I'm just recording a video. And now we're gonna go learn how to smoke them to preserve them.
Obviously a tarp works. Everything that holds the smoke in a confined place. Any sort of a cave.
That's for long-term smoking, because yesterday...
This is long-term smoking. That was for like flavor, which is a great way to cook. When you're trying to preserve something, we'd hang this in here, and the thing with it is usually when you have a lot of fish or food, and it's usually worth you just sitting around for a day, stoking the fire. What you'll do is you usually have like a cup of water, and like if it starts burning too much, sprinkle a little on. As it starts to fiddle out, you build it a little bit. So it's kind of one of those things you have to tend. It's like why a Traeger's nice, I guess. Not just kidding. But it's like it is just sort of an all-day thing. We'd catch a backpack of food, and then we'd take it back, a fish, and take it back, hang them all up, split them open like we did last night, fillet them wide open, salt them.
So a day will preserve them about how long?
What's that?
A day will preserve them about...
You can get them dry enough to where once they're like pretty dry, they'll store for months and months, you know.
Oh, okay.
But if the moisture is in there, then it's as much, like relative to how much moisture, that's how much shorter of a span it's gonna. Putting any smoke on it, it'll store it. You know, where this fish would go bad in a day, if you get some smoke on it and get it, you know, it'll last a few days instead. You know, that's an advantage, especially if you get the blood out of it. You want to get the blood out of all that stuff. Our fish. See, the hottest part of the smoke is going to be obviously up here. Little pieces of wire. And it's nice when even they're so small, I don't have to split them open. But usually you can just pass that through here.
You had one spool of wire on alone. Were you like really careful with how you used it? Like,
you know, I wasn't that careful with it. It was like there was kind of plenty. They give you a pretty big allowance of it. It's like 3 pounds of wire. It's actually quite a bit.
You can reuse it too.
Yeah, you can reuse it a lot. This is a dry stick. Probably should use a wet one because it's gonna sit there and burn up. Yeah. But what I might do to help mitigate that is just calm it down. Bring it in there. What we're gonna have happen here. All right, now spots that put a stick in there to kind of hold it open. Yeah, like that. So when it's hanging, it just kind of holds it open so it'll be closing on itself. Guys, necessary. Then there's kind of 2 kinds of smoking. There's hot smoking, which is where you're basically cooking it while you smoke it, and cold smoking. When you're hot smoking, it kind of cooks it, dries it, smokes it, and it really preserves it well. But you know, sometimes the cold smoke is what people like, taste it better because it's a little, you know, softer and all that.
Which is a hot smoke?
Hot smoke is just when the temperature is hot enough in your smoker to also be cooking your stuff. A lot of times, like if you just want a lot of good smoke on your food, like we built one before where we had like a fire down there, and then the smoke was coming up through stovepipe into a place like this. So it had time to cool, and then it's just smoking.
So this would be a cold smoke then? Cause
this is going to be like a hot smoke.
Oh, this is a hot smoke, okay.
it's too close to the fire.
Just because the fire's in here with it, and it, you know, also would depend on how much you tend it and how much you
Once it's smoked, you said it could last for months, but how do you know when it's not good anymore?
Well, you kind of would smell it.
Oh, that's a big one right there.
Yeah, these are yesterday's. Upper Lake.
It's a feast.
They got all that smoke really running across all that fish. Oh, perfect. Yeah, what we need. Fires. Enough. Like I said, your main thing is then trying to keep it cool. Like that little cup of water. I know. Like I said, you know, we're demonstrating, but it'd be nice to build a nice set of coals ahead of time. So the heat out a lot that way, it's actually not a terrible thing.
Are you generally trying to keep the flames lower than that?
Yeah.
But it'll burn
because
down.
the draft is sucking it out that way, it's actually fine because it's still plenty of smoky in there.
Okay.
And it's actually working pretty well. But yeah, but that's just because we're lucky with the wind direction. Otherwise, we definitely have to die that fire down a little bit.
So what happens if there'd be too much smoke? Would that just?
Can't really have too much smoke.
Okay. It would just cook the fish too much if the wind was blowing this way.
Well, oh yeah, you can definitely, if there's too much fire and the wind blowing this way, just cook the fish. And like dry it out a lot and whatever, you know, like, yeah. You get all black and baked on the outside and still be soft on the inside. Nice job. How hot is it up here? Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Good job. There we go. You got a little smoker going there.
Here's one.
Tendon.
There you go.
Easy. Yeah. So then, still some flames in there that'll keep it up. Slowly it'll build up. Throw a little bit more on there, and
So it's easier to keep it down than keep it up.
yeah, exactly. Missing out here.
Yep. Baby.
Another nice thing about it, even if you're like, you know, it's taking a long time or whatever, but as long as it's in there in the smoke, there's no bugs landing on it, no flies landing on it, it's not gonna spoil.